Hello, this is U.S. Immigration Attorney Sharifa Tharpe. I'm here live to take your U.S. immigration related questions. So go ahead and put your questions in the comments now so that I can answer your questions. So I see you joining. Hi, everyone. Go ahead, put your questions in the comments now because that's what I'm here to do. Today, I'm just going to focus on answering your immigration questions. So put them in. Thanks so much for the love on Instagram. I appreciate it. Hi there, Michelle. Nice to see you. Can an F1 student start an LLC? So an F1 student is not, there are limitations on their ability to work. And so starting an LLC, if it's going to involve working, actively working in a business, you have to be very careful about that. Hi there. I overstayed my visitor's visa because my sibling asked me to help take care of our elderly parent. However, due to some disagreement, he refuses to do so. Is that qualification for a T? Let's talk more. There are a lot more facts. Hi, Carl. There are a lot more facts that we have to get through here. For instance, when the sibling recruited you to come and take care of your parents, did it involve payment, and did they start to refuse to provide you payment? I know you said that there was some disagreement that may be overpay, and if it's overpay, then there might be an issue here if they refuse to pay you. So give us a call. Go to the link in the description of this video, and you can schedule your appointment. The time is being booked up on my calendar and on Attorney Bria. So please make sure even in the middle of the night, people are scheduling their appointments. So, because you can do that on your own. So, please make sure that if you need personalized legal advice, you're scheduling that. You can schedule it on your own or call the office. Hi there. So, I have a question. I'm gonna start my citizenship. How long does it take? It can take anywhere from 2 months to 8 months for citizenship. And I believe in some instances, if you file online, they have reduced the fee. But I'd have to look at the chart. So I did know my fees off the top of my head, but I no longer do I have to always check the chart because they've increased fees, and in some cases they've decreased fees, by the way. And so I have to check the chart for that. Go to uscis.gov to look at those fees. You can use a fee calculator. How long a VAWA case takes? So to get the work permit, it can be 8 to 12 months. To get the green card at 2.5 mark to 3-year mark. Do you speak Spanish? So my staff is equipped with Spanish speakers to be able to help our Spanish speaking clients. So we do have Spanish speaking clients that have hired us, and we have the staff to help them. So give us a call and we can definitely assist you. Can status be changed to student visa within the US after coming into the US with B1, B2? Yes, it's possible. How can I reach? So at the top of this page, you'll see the phone number 561-405-4889. And then you can also go to the link in the profile and you'll see ways to get in touch with us there as well. How long can I stay in the country while I await my green card? So if you're applying for adjustment of status, that will allow you to stay in the country. Is the last in first out rule still applicable for asylum? So the last I checked, I know they were talking about a lot of policy rules that has not changed so far. My husband doesn't want to file for AOS. Is there a way I can do that on my own? So this is what I usually say. If your spouse is refusing to file for your papers, that's a red flag that there's something more going on in your marriage. That's certainly a sign of mistreatment. And if you can relate to the fact that they're treating you in a cruel manner or treating you unfairly or mistreating you, you need to contact the office and let's talk about what's called VAWA. It's an option that allows you to apply on your own. So in that instance, you can apply on your own. Can a green card holder marry someone in Jamaica? If yes, how long will it take? So yes, and you could expect anywhere from 2.5 to 3 years for the process. Right now, there is a wait list that's holding things up for spouses of green card holders. But if you get married, you're going through the process, and then you become a US citizen, they can then upgrade the status of your immigrant spouse, the spouse of US citizen, and that can speed up the process. Good morning, please. Someone file a VAWA. Later, he heard that the same wife, her ex-husband, too, filed for VAWA against her before both of them did not know one another. Later, he heard that same wife, her ex-husband too, filed for VAWA against her before, and both of them did not know one another. So this is a very convoluted fact pattern, and you know, you'd have to do a consultation if it has anything to do with you. Uh, Last week, my I-130 says 1 week for decision, but now it says 4 weeks. Is that something bad? So that case tracker, I am finding it to be very annoying, because that's what I'm finding is happening with a lot of people. Is it's really unreliable. So the I-130 can take anywhere from right now 9 months to 12 months, maybe shorter, maybe even longer. But I go by my own experience of filing these I-130s on behalf of my clients. And I don't usually go by this case tracker, because as soon as you see you're a few weeks within decision, it either extends it and then tells you it's taking longer than usual. I got annoyed in December. I replied to them since January and still nothing yet. Should I be worried? So I don't know what the annoyed is. It just depends on what your response looks like. Can you apply for work permit before green card? He's in the States and came illegally. It's possible, but the work permit needs to be attached to a type of application for the green card or for some other type of status. So when you're applying for a green card or another type of status, then you at the same time, some application processes allow you to apply for a work permit while you wait for that benefit. That's how we help our clients to be able to get the work permit. Is we screen our clients for any, not just the green card, but any other types of statuses and options that they qualify for, and then we're able to get the work permit for them at the same time while they wait for that benefit that they qualify for. After my case was dismissed, when I can I apply for another petition? So it's going to depend on the facts here. So if a case is dismissed in immigration court, it means that it's no longer there, and no longer within the jurisdiction of the court. And as long as you qualify, then you're free to move forward with another petition. But it depends on whether you qualify for that. Last week, my I-130 says 1 week for decision, but now it says 4 weeks. So this is the same thing that I was saying. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's definitely not a good thing. It's very nerve-wracking and annoying, but that often happens with that app that has been provided to applicants. Hello, once sent to the NVC, how long should it take max for an appointment? So I've seen them right now. The average time is 1.5 to 2 years for an appointment, maybe faster, maybe shorter, but on average, I'm seeing wait times that are going over a year for the appointment after you've been told you're documentarily qualified. last week. So I answered that. Do you do green cards for South American citizens? I'm American, absolutely. So we represent clients all over the world. I've been here since I was 5 years old. Would I have to go back to Mexico to get my citizenship? So if you're getting it, okay, I think you might be referring to permanent residence, to get permanent residence in the US. And, in some cases, the last resort option might be what's called the I-601A waiver process that requires you to go back to the embassy to attend the interview. But before I get to that option for my clients, I always explore whether there's an option that's going to keep them here in the US. So that's where doing the consultation is going to be very important. Hello. Can I apply for another school with an expired green card? My citizenship is pending. So you're still, if now you do have to show proof of your status in any kind of application for school or for work. So you can get what's called an I-551 stamp in your passport that they give you for a year to continue to show that you are a permanent resident. Usually, though, to get that stamp, you also have to show that you're applying for the extension. Just got green card, but I have an active deportation when I enter the US. Can I still travel out? So, if you just got your green card, but you have an active deportation, there may be an issue where that green card was approved in error, which definitely puts you at danger for it being revoked. So I highly recommend you speak to an immigration attorney to sift through those issues to make sure that you did indeed qualify, or to make sure that it's taken care of, because that's a big problem if you have a deportation pending but you got your green card anyway. Usually what happens if you have an active deportation case, you have to get it out of court before you can get your green card. So there may have been an error there. How can I file for my parents as a citizen in the military? So it's called parole in place, and we've done this for our clients. So there's no set application. So it has to be filed um, at a specific office. And the forms that are used are not your usual forms where you have to pay fees. So if you would like assistance, definitely give us a call and we can represent you on that. We have gotten approved on parole in place. I sent adjustment of on March 8th, and I-765 was returned for improperly filed. Do I now have to pay I-765? So you're going to have to take corrective action to whatever they told you. So if it was improperly filed because of fees, then yeah, you have to correct that fee. How does it take? How does it take to get decision? How long does it take to get a decision on adjustment of status based on asylee status? So you can expect any, at minimum a year and a half. My husband, green card holder, we have 3 kids, 25-year marriage. I got in reality, it has only been psychological violence and shouting words, but no blows. Can I file VAWA if you get any problem? It's possible, yes. So we have filed for VAWA and gotten approved just based on words, on yelling and verbal and emotional abuse. So it is definitely possible. Hello, I recently mailed my I-485 application on the 26th of March. How long before I receive a confirmation that my application has been received? I'd say 2 to 3 weeks. Can you use T visa receipt from USS to apply for a driver's license? No. Um, can you get green card through H-2B work program? Not directly. If an employer likes your work or ends up liking you, then it's possible to get the employer to petition for you. But getting it directly through just by having H-2B visa, no. My husband doesn't want to file for my AOS. I answered that. How long can I stay in the country while I await my green card? So if you're filing for adjustment of status, that allows you to wait here for that time. How do I get work permit even though the only problem I have with the person I'm working with is they tend to pull money from my salary on saying it's taxes without any statement taxes is about. So this might be trafficking by fraud. So if you are experiencing trafficking by fraud because they're promising you a certain salary, they're not paying it, they're making illegal deductions on your payments, then you can qualify for possible T status here. Can a person who had overstayed an H-2B visa marry a green card holder, and will they get work permit and travel document? How long does it take? It's possible, not a green card holder. If you've overstayed, it's not going to work for the green card holder. How long does it take to get work authorization after you file with USCIS? It depends on the application. If it's family based, 3 to 6 months. If it's based on VAWA, I would say 8 to 12 months. How long does it take? So I answered that. How long after submitting I-130 is the I-797 normally issued? If you do it electronically, immediately. If you do it by mail, you could expect 2 weeks, about 2 weeks. I want to be able to live and work in the United States, but I'm not sure of eligibility of getting the green card. What advice would you give me to achieve the work permit? So it's all going to be dependent on your particular facts here. So what you'll need to do is you'll definitely need to do a consultation, and that's going to determine whether, after I do a detailed evaluation, I'll be able to determine how you qualify. In general, though, the most common ways is going to be by employer, by family member. How long after an I-130 approval does it take to get the interview and medical done? So you also need to file the I-485 along with to get that interview, to get the interview or get any information about the interview. So if you're filing adjustment of status along with the I-130, then you could be looking at 4 months to a year to get that. And you may get it waived if you submitted a good application. How long a green card holder petition for minor child get approved? I would say maybe for the I-130 petition, 9 months to a year. And then for the entire process to be completed, it could be up to 2.5 years. Is it age difference a problem? It may be. Please, I've submitted my asylum application for over 130 days now, and I have not received any appointment for biometrics. Contact immigration to make sure everything is going well with your application, that they did indeed receive it. Can you qualify for T status if you are on an overstayed B1, B2 visa? Absolutely, yes. Our clients have all, I think 100% of my clients have all overstayed their visas. And that's how they became victimized to begin with. Hi, which visa is the fastest one right now, fiance or spouse? So the fiance is supposed to be shorter. Um, I would say it's comparable right now. My experience with the fiance visa, it's about a year and a half. For the spouse visa, I'd say a year and a half to 2 years. Um, I-130 was submitted online. We did receive a receipt of notice that they have received the application and is reviewing it. However, still did not receive a notice that was approved. So it could be 9 to 12 months from now. All right. Hello, how long does it take to get military PIP to be approved? So it can be anywhere from 3 months to 6 months. Which would be I-797 for approval notice. So all notices come on what's called an I-797. So it's just an approval notice. Um, how long does it take for a professional entry to be processed? So I'm not sure what professional entry means. Would you recommend uploading important documents to an AOS case online or wait for the RFE? It depends. I don't know. This is where having an attorney is important because by sometimes, are you doing more damage than good by uploading that documentation? Okay, I think I see here. Um, how long VAWA work permit take to renew CO9 with advanced parole? So you could be looking at 6 months to a year for renewal. They are giving a year and a half extension while your work permit is being extended. So make sure you keep your receipt notice so you have proof of that extension. Regarding the cost of fiance and spouse visa, is there any significant difference? So I'd have to look at the chart to see what that is. They have new fees now. So I am learning about those new fees and I'd have to look to see what the differences are. You can find out the differences by going to uscis.gov and you'll see those there. What brand is your lipstick and what shade? So I don't know the shade, but it's Sephora. Sephora is a really good brand. I have DACA 2 entries, no inspection as a minor. Can I request for AP? If approved, can I do AOS? Yes, it's possible. Absolutely. If you traveled out and came back in, then that could give you the ability to apply for advanced adjustment of status. How long is the biometrics after notice for application? Oh boy, they're not joking with this. We're seeing biometrics coming in like a month or maybe even 2 weeks after we get the receipt notice. Submitted application 22624, went for biometrics, sent medical, but still nothing. Is this okay? Yes, that's fine. It's still on track. I wouldn't panic. Would you recommend uploading? So I answered that. How long is green card holder petition for minor child to get approved? So I answered that. Can VAWA give you travel documentation? Yes. So once you're approved, yes. So while we apply for our clients, we apply for their work permit and their travel document. Then when you're approved for the VAWA petition, you can get your travel document. You have to apply for it separately. But at the same time, if you apply for adjustment of status, you can always have your travel document. And right now, they're 5 years. If you do a late renewal on your work permit, is that bad? It's better to renew it late than now. A late renewal may compromise your ability to use the extension letter. So that's where it may be a problem. What if you are undocumented from your hotel job and get fired? Can I still apply for T visa? That's not enough to determine whether you qualify for a T visa. Being fired, remember that T visa is for victims of labor trafficking. Labor trafficking means that you're held in a position where you can't leave. You don't feel the freedom to leave. So if you're just by this fact. I mean, I've had clients be approved for T, and somewhere in their facts, they were fired. But along the way, while they were working, they were told, they were threatened, they were abused, they were not paid. So say for example, you were working, I don't know your situation, but say for example, you were working for the employer and they refused to pay you, still forced you to continue to work, held your immigration status over you, overworked you, put you in positions you did not agree to work in, but you felt you had no choice. And then, say, after going through all of this, you decided to speak up and stand up for yourself and say, when am I going to get my money? I've worked this job. When am I going to get paid? And that's when they demand you to leave the property, or they're going to call police, or, it usually goes something like that. Then that's definitely a T visa scenario. However, if they paid you, they didn't force you to do anything, and then one day they come to you and say you're fired, that is not T, because there's no coercion there. There's no kind of putting you in a position where you felt like you had to work and you had no choice to work. So after T status approval, how long is the green card process? So you could be looking at another year and a half for that process. Can you do medical before submitting your I-130? So I-130 does not require medical. The adjustment of status requires a medical. So if you're going through the I-130, um, then there's no medical yet. It's going to be a medical later on. You can now, the medical does not expire, no longer expires. Uh, so you'd be good there. But you do have to make sure it's signed before a certain period of time, or by a certain period of time before sending. So you just have to make sure that you're complying with all those requirements. But once you get it to them, it does not expire. And should I still attend biometrics appointment? So I'm not sure where there's reference to the biometrics, but I would say this: if you have a biometrics appointment, I don't know your case, and I didn't see the other question related to this. But having a biometrics appointment, even if my clients had a previous one and then a week later they say come back for another biometrics, I tell them to go, because we don't know. Maybe the fingerprints didn't come out right. Maybe they lost a fingerprint and they want another one. So to make sure everything is running smoothly, we don't fight that. We make our clients go to avoid any misunderstandings about, whether or not the client complied with a biometrics appointment. Biometrics appointment, by the way, is fingerprinting for background check. I'd appreciate if you could talk more about the fiance and spouse visas. Sure, I'll save that for one of the lives. I mailed my military PIP to my local field office and receipt number starts with MSC. Is it okay? I'm sure it's okay. Applied for VAWA 1 year and 2 months, no prima facie, except the receipt, I think that got DACA. So, get in touch with the VAWA unit and see what's going on there. What if I got accepted by DACA, but my case never proceeded due to it being paused? So, unfortunately, that's one of the injustices we're facing right now. I would like to know how I can get my goddaughter, who is my niece, a visa. So they would have to apply at the embassy, and it depends on what they qualify for. How do you get in touch with the VAWA unit? So this is also a very good perk of having a lawyer, is that when we contact the VAWA unit, we have a special email that only attorneys can contact, and we can email them through that email address. If you are not represented by an attorney, you have to do it by mail, and go to the USCIS, get the instructions there. Um, Can I apply for I-140 change of status in my second year of J-1 visa? My host family wants to sponsor. It may be possible, but there needs to be a lot more information available for that. Receipt approval notice for immediate family member. Can she come to the US to adjust status via I-485? Now, no one can come in with a visa intending to apply for adjustment of status. They do consider that to be fraud, because when you're entering with a temporary visa, you're representing that you are not going to stay permanently and you have no plans to do that. But I've seen situations where people have come and they've had an approved petition, and they just decide they're going to, after they enter, they make the decision that, okay, and do it. And that's fine usually. Does a psychological evaluation help with VAWA? Yes, so it can definitely help, because, and where I find a psychological evaluation helps is where there is mistreatment or abuse, but maybe it's nuanced, right? Maybe there's extreme cruelty, and the psychologist or therapist is in a much better position to be able to put this in an easy way for the officer to understand why such mistreatment amounts to abuse or extreme cruelty, and the effect on my client. Some of my clients end up having signs of PTSD, depression, because of the mistreatment. And so the therapist can spot these and be able to put this in an evaluation format for the immigration officer to look at. I'd like to file for myself with master's in clinical social work. How long does it take? So, the filing can be anywhere from, I'd say, a year and a half to 2 years. It just depends on if you qualify and the path that you take, whether you do adjustment of status or you are outside of the US and you're doing it through the petition process first and then the embassy. So it all depends. After 10 years of paying taxes, it's hard for immigration to deport you. I'm, so sorry to say, but no. Being right now, as the law is, you could be paying taxes for 10 years and they could still deport you. But paying taxes is not bad. It's still a good move, because in cases where you have to show good moral character and that you've complied with the laws, it can help the judge to cancel your removal and instead grant you papers. So while it doesn't, paying taxes does not stop them from deporting you. It can help you to put forth an application for relief or to cancel the deportation. Can I travel internationally while waiting on my VAWA to be approved? You need to have your travel document. Don't leave the country without your travel document. When I represent my clients, I file for their travel document at the same time. Is all VAWA case processing time the same? What about people that filed 2021 when it was 26 months gets approved? So it's around the same time. All right, so that's going to be it for me today. I have to move on to other appointments. I am so proud that I was able to come on at my previous time today. So let's hope that this continues. Thanks for all your good questions. I appreciate it. Now, remember that the information I'm giving you here is not personalized legal advice. It's general information. So if you need personalized legal advice, or you want to figure out whether there's a solution here to get your papers, especially if you're undocumented or if you've overstayed, go to the link in the profile of the Instagram, TikTok, um, go to the link and click on that link. You will see, link tree where you'll have different buttons and options. As I said before, people are really treating this with urgency and scheduling their appointments. I'm seeing appointments being scheduled 1 in the morning, all times of the day. So you can do this on your own. Or you can call the office and schedule your appointment as well. So go ahead, do that. Use the link in the profile. Go to the link in the description of this video on Facebook and YouTube, and you'll be able to schedule your appointments, right? Because we offer solutions, we find solutions for our clients to get their papers, get their work permit here in the US. So we would be happy to help you. Tomorrow, I'm aiming to be here at the same time. So let's hope between 12:30 and 1, or 12 and 1. So please look out for me. Follow me. Subscribe. So when you see me go live, you can join me and then we can have a good conversation. Again, I can answer some questions because these are all really good questions. Have a great day, everyone. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.